Tensions are rising between the U.S. and China over House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's expected visit to Taiwan. Beijing is now flexing its military muscle ahead of the anticipated trip. Adam Yamaguchi reports from Taiwan.
Across the narrow Taiwan Strait, it's a battle of drills. Taiwan just wrapped up a week of annual live fire exercises. And China has responded in kind, increasing naval patrols, conducting live fire drills, and releasing a highly produced propaganda video. China claims Taiwan, a self-governing island of 23 million people, as its own. And the anticipated visit of Speaker Pelosi is generating accusations that the U.S. supports Taiwanese sovereignty. If Speaker Pelosi visits Taiwan, said the Chinese Foreign Affairs spokesman, it would grossly interfere in China's internal affairs. He warned the Chinese military would never sit idly by. Pelosi is leading a congressional delegation to Asia, including a stop in Singapore today. Taiwan has never been on her official schedule, but Taiwanese news media are reporting she will arrive Tuesday evening. Against this political backdrop, Taiwan is getting prepared. The military exercises here included a mock amphibious invasion, insight into Taiwan's assessment of what a war with China might look like.
The fact that we're seeing an amphibious assault suggests that the Taiwanese believe that the Chinese are going to try and take some of the outlying islands in the South China Sea and in Taiwan Strait, and this is Taiwan's effort to take them back.
Civilians are taking precautions too, learning life-saving skills as part of a volunteer emergency response team.
The U.S. is bound by law to help Taiwan get the weapons it needs to defend itself. And the American military is now moving assets, including an aircraft carrier, in closer proximity to the island. Lana?
Adam, thank you. For more on this, I am joined by Robert Ross. He is a professor at Boston College and a non-resident fellow at the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, which advocates for military restraint and diplomatic engagement. Robert, thank you for being here. Tell us, President Biden and President Xi had a very tense phone call last week, clouded by disagreements over Taiwan. National Security Council Coordinator John Kirby was asked about that phone call in regards to Nancy Pelosi's potential visit. I want to play that first for all of us.
The President, in his conversation with President Xi, made clear that Congress is an independent branch of government and that Speaker Pelosi makes her own decisions, as other members of Congress do, about their overseas travel. That was made clear.
What do you make of that response coming from the White House podium? And how much does the Communist Party in China understand that Congress is an independent branch of government?
Well, preliminarily, the White House was quite clear to somewhat disassociate itself from Nancy Pelosi's plans to visit Taiwan. They didn't offer support. They simply said it was up to her to make her own decisions. And in that way, they said one of two things. Either Senator Pelosi didn't consult with the White House, or if she did, she chose to ignore their advice. And so they were quick to disassociate and leave her out there on her own. Now, does China understand this? Yes, China understands well the independence of our congressional branch of government, but they don't really care. Nancy Pelosi is simply not a member of Congress. She's the leadership of the House of Representatives. She's the most important Democrat in the U.S. Congress, and it would set a precedent, in their view, that the United States could send just about anyone they wanted from the American political system to Taiwan, implicitly encouraging support for Taiwan, without ramifications, with Chinese acquiescence. And that's something the Chinese are not prepared to signal.
Well, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi isn't the first House Speaker to have traveled to Taiwan, but this comes in the context of international disarray, given Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So how concerned is the White House about the timing of this trip?
Well, there are a number of aspects from this. China's made clear from the beginning, going back to April this year, when Representative Pelosi thought about going to Taiwan, of its great opposition. So should the United States, should she go ahead with this, one would respect Chinese retaliation, and that can come in many forms. It would be difficult to accept ongoing Chinese restraint in cooperation with Russia if the United States doesn't show restraint in cooperation with Taiwan. Also, the mainland has flexed its military signaling, as you suggested, and so it might be expected that it would carry out military exercises at a higher level and perhaps carry out exercises that could create something of a confrontation. This is something the United States is clearly prepared for, but something it doesn't want to happen. How it avoids this while simultaneously acquiescing and agreeing to Representative Pelosi's visit to Taiwan is difficult to see, but it's made its preparations.
So that's how the White House is viewing this. It's how China's viewing this. But what could a visit like this mean for Taiwan and its people?
Well, we often say about Taiwan, be careful what you ask for. The closer you get to the United States, the more concern that the mainland has that you might actually believe the United States has written you a blank check and that the mainland has to begin to restrain your behavior. Well, how does the mainland do this? Perhaps by punishing Taiwan. And so when there is U.S.-China conflict over Taiwan, Taiwan frequently pays the price. So as we say, when the elephants fight, the grasshoppers pay the price, and this could well be the case for Taiwan. And you showed that clip of Taiwan preparing for a amphibious landing on a remote island in the Taiwan Strait. However much it wants to prepare, it's now sufficiently capable of resisting or counteracting such an occupation, and so the price would be significant.
All right, Robert Ross, thank you.
Thank you.